What is up, my friends? You are very welcome along to today's Anfield Agenda transfer news roundup. How are we all? See the little flash there of the live show thing, just to remind you. I didn't want to have it as the full waiting screen, but just to remind you that we are, of course, in Liverpool and Cardiff in August. Right, my friends, loads to get through today, and I'm going to try and listen to your feedback and put a positive spin on the transfer window, because I understand we're all sick of negativity, and we're going to try and be upbeat today as much as we can. Again, a little reminder that we will see you guys hopefully tonight at 7:30 as well, where we're going to be starting our Euros watch-alongs. The host Germany taking on the Tartan Army. Scotland, can they pull off a massive upset? Be interesting to see. We're going to be right behind our Mr. Andy Robertson as well. I was going to say our captain. I forgot he's Scotland's captain. He's not our captain. Virgil's our captain. So we're going to be right behind Robbo and seeing what unfolds. Right, Craig, you sure we might get De Ligt, Rodrigo or Olise? That will be a massive win. Look, I don't know. As I've said all the way through, I've tried to be honest and say it's really difficult to gauge what Liverpool's business is going to be right now. But nothing has happened yet, so I guess we have to take that as... I don't know, actually. I don't know. Is it positive? Is it a negative? I don't know. But we're going to try and figure it out together over the course of the summer. We're going to be discussing a potential offer coming Virgil's way. Whether he accepts it or not remains to be seen. We're going to be talking about why Erling Haaland is perhaps already worth £1 billion. We're going to talk, of course, about the battle to sign Crystal Palace's Michael Olise. A little bit on Anton from Stuttgart. More on Lenny Yoro and a couple of other bits and pieces around contract extensions that we're currently waiting on news for. So we'll wait for the chat to fill up. We're going to get stuck into a few hellos. Who is Anton? Said D. My man, he is a centre-back that plays for Stuttgart and about 27, if my memory is correct. And look, we'll go through that in more detail in a while, but he's the latest centre-back linked to a move to Liverpool Football Club. We're going to be talking about some new interest in Sepp van den Berg as Liverpool look to maybe recoup a transfer fee for him this summer. A little bit on a goalkeeper that it looks like maybe we've lost out on Juventus to. Little talk about Archie Gray and James McConnell heading out on loan as well. So we'll cover all that over the next hour or so. Craig, you got good dance moves. I wish I had those dance moves, mate. God, I look at them and I think, if only, bro, if only. But unfortunately, I ain't got the moves. Got the moves. Definitely got them, but not the moves. Early stream today, yes. Oh, we're going to be kicking off the Euros tonight at 7:30. So we're doing the Anfield Agenda live stream a little bit earlier than normal, just to make sure that we can cover the Euros game tonight, my man. And I hope you can join us for that one as well. Craig can actually dance better than that. He's just being modest. Well, there's only one way to find out, right, Ben? And that's to get your backside to the Anfield Agenda live show in Liverpool or Cardiff, where I will definitely be doing lots of dancing. Definitely. Lee Chappie. Lee. Oh, no, you're not Irish. I was about to start speaking Irish to you, Lee, and then I forgot you're not Irish. How are you, mate? Hope life is treating you well. It's been a while since we caught up as well. Nice to see you in, bro. I hope it's a really quiet one for us at the start of the stream, but I hope you're well. I've been head down working away, Lee, probably like yourself, for the last year or so, man, just trying to grind it out. Craig is going to break a leg cutting the rug. You're not allowed to say rug for me because people think syrup, you know, the old top of the head. Do you know what? I took a picture yesterday, bit of a tangent. Took a picture yesterday and sent it to Ben. It's like, look, one day I haven't shaved my head and you can see it is actually starting to grow. So yeah, I must send that picture into the Discord group actually to prove that I do actually have a head of hair. But my wife already warned me, no growing it out. So wait, Ireland has a language. Yes, Kunasatatu Makara. There you go, Troy. There's a little bit of Irish for you. Kunasatatu Makara means how are you, my friend. So yes, it does have a language, mate, but I would be lying to you if I said I could speak it fluently. I've only got cúpla focal, which means a few words of Irish. But I would bet that Connor can speak it far better than I can. But yes, we do have a language. I'm just embarrassed to say I can't speak it fluently. Right, Paul, what have we got here? Paul Isherwood, how are you, bro? Said, Matthias de Ligt, everyone. He's only 24 and he's been around for like 10 years. There has been a couple of links to Matthias de Ligt, and he's definitely on the list of people who Bayern Munich are willing to part with this summer. It's the wages, Paul, that would worry me, mate. You know, since he broke through at Ajax, got his move to Juventus, and that move from Juventus to Bayern, his wages are fairly hefty. So I don't know if it's realistic. You know, having the Dutch centre-back partnership will be interesting, all right. But yeah, and his injury record as well is probably worth noting and looking into. His injury record isn't great. Does Eze want to move, or does he have a release clause? I think the answer, Toby, is both. So yes, it looks like he wants to move, and yes, he absolutely has a release clause. That release clause is £60 million. But although weirdly, when we're talking about this release clause, a lot of the talk is a minimum of £60 million. So a couple of things to note about Michael Olise's release clause. And before we get stuck into it, let's just give you the latest on where everybody is with Olise. So this piece here that came in from Edmund Brack said, Liverpool and Manchester City are also keen on a summer move for Michael Olise, apart from Chelsea. So Chelsea tried to sign him last summer, as I'm sure you're aware. Since then, he signed a new contract at Crystal Palace, which has a release clause. Chelsea wanted to check the terms of that release clause to see if there was a differential of what they'd have to pay as a non-Champions League club versus what the likes of, say, Liverpool, Manchester City would have to pay as a Champions League qualifying club. And apparently, there's no difference in that clause. So the number is 60 million quid, but lots of people mention add-ons up to and including about 8 million quid. So that's as much as I know about the release clause of Michael Olise. And I hope that he is somebody we're looking at, because I've seen lots of former players as well think that if we do lose Mohamed Salah down the line, Michael Olise could be an ideal replacement. But it's also worth noting on these things that Chelsea have put the groundwork in, much like they did with Caicedo. So are Liverpool coming a little bit late to the table, or is there a hope? I hope there's a hope. Where there's a will, there's a way. So hopefully we can see some progression on this over the next few weeks. But we're going to find out soon, because what I can also say today, ladies and gentlemen, is that the transfer window is officially open. It is indeed now open. Clubs can sign and sell players, register them. We're good to go. The window's open. Welcome in crazy season. So, lots to go through. Right, I want to just spend a couple of minutes just addressing some of your feedback. So, here at Anfield Agenda, we've always been open and honest to say we welcome your feedback. We don't address any thoughts or comments that are just toxic, calling me this or other people that. But we always listen to your constructive criticism, because it's your channel and we want you guys to enjoy your experience and enjoy your patronage of Anfield Agenda. So I was reading through a lot of the comments over the last couple of days, and I've taken note of one thing that keeps coming up, and I have to be big and strong enough to take this on board. People don't want the negativity of me ranting about a window that hasn't happened yet. And I appreciate and understand it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try and speak positively. We're going to try and speak about incomings. And we're going to, for the moment, not speak about Real Madrid or the big bad wolf standing over in the corner, potentially going to come in and ruin our dreams. So we're going to stay positive, because we've listened to your feedback and it's your channel. We've said this all the way through. I want you guys to enjoy your experience when you come and watch us. So if I do come across at times as ranty or over the top, it's just because football does those things to me. Normally, I'm reacting to a game, so there's probably some justification to that frustration if you've had a poor result. But I understand and hear you. The window hasn't happened yet, so you guys want to give the benefit of the doubt, so I'll go with you and give the benefit of the doubt. So, again, we've listened. Thank you for your feedback. We continue to welcome it from anybody in the chat and in the comments, as long as it is constructive like it has been. And I want to just thank you as well for that, because it's important to us that we know what you guys want and what you guys enjoy. And to those that did take the time to put in that constructive, and it is constructive feedback, thank you. It is always welcomed, and yeah, we appreciate you. Right, so, Craig, how's the form, fella? First super chat in a while. Who's your pick for the Euros? Well, thank you, Chris, first and foremost, mate. Appreciate you. Who was my choice? You can't really look past France, can you? Portugal could be, I won't call them a dark horse, because everybody knows how good that Portuguese squad is. So, France, England, Portugal, you know, you can never rule out the Germans in a home competition. So I'm just excited by the Euros, to be honest with you. Obviously, I've got no horse in this race. Ireland haven't qualified, so I'm going to just look at it from a Liverpool perspective, use the opportunity to have a look at some players maybe that we've been linked to as well that I don't know too much about. I'm talking about the likes of Gertrude, Reefer, those type of players. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and it gets underway tonight, 7:30. Can the Tartan Army go over there and cause a shock to start the tournament? Luigi's Mission Pro said, "Oh, good man, I get pissed pretty easily. So do I." And I, you know what? I do apologise for it, because it does, like, football provokes a lot of emotion in me. Sometimes it's really positive, sometimes it can be really angry and negative. So yeah, I'm with you, man, but thank you for your understanding. Right, Craig, Liverpool City is full of Yankees now. Huh? I'm very confused by that, mate. What, is there a baseball game or something? Oh, because of the Taylor Swift concert? So I'm very confused. Is it because of the Swift concert? Which Kloppo was at last night, by the way, wearing his pink hat, and somehow, Kloppo pulls it off. How? Come on now. If I put on a pink hat, I'm not going to look as good as Jurgen, but somehow he pulled it off. Bash, thank you for the super sticker, bro. Appreciate you. It's only natural, Craig, especially since Liverpool is very silent. We don't know anything until it's done. That's true, Nick. It is true. And you are right. I just, I guess sometimes I feel like once bitten, twice shy and stuff. But I am, as I said, big and ugly enough to listen to the feedback. And I'm here to make you guys enjoy your hour or time that you spend with us on the stream. So let's stay positive. Am I going to be live for the Euros? Yes, sir. We will be, Darian. 7:30 tonight. We're going to kick off, obviously, with Germany versus Scotland. I'm more interested in the Copa America, said Andrew. So I'm kind of a bit lucky, Andrew, right? Because I'm a night bird, so I stay up late. So I'm going to watch the Copa America and enjoy it on the sofa. But then I get to cover the Euros on here. So yeah, it's going to be a festival of football, and I'm looking forward to it. I think I'm gonna back Uruguay to pull off a bit of an upset in the Copas. I think they look quite strong, but then again, Argentina are pretty daunting. David Massett, how are you, bro? Said Holland are dark horses. Yeah, I mean, it's a bit of the unknown for me with the Netherlands, to be honest. I mean, I look back to the qualifying and that, but it will be interesting to see now what they can do. Some bumper games coming up as well during the Euro. Some really, really interesting ties. And tonight, it's actually a really interesting one, because if you look at Scotland's qualification, they beat Spain, right? They've gone over, I think, and beat Norway away as well. So it's going to be an interesting one. If Germany can't break through, let's say, in the first half hour, you know, is going to get tetchy inside the stadium. If I had to support a team in the Euros, who would it be? Probably the Netherlands, because I think we've got the highest concentration of Liverpool players inside the Netherlands. So yeah, probably the Netherlands. And also, to the best of my understanding, going generations way back, my family has some connection or ties back to the Netherlands somehow. Very, 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 very long time ago, like, but probably the Netherlands. And I like orange. I like the colour orange as a jersey, so... Right, let's get through the old transfer talk, because there's quite a bit to run through, and we've a shorter stream than normal. I've been doing 2-hour streams lately, so tonight we're going to just have 1 hour 15 minutes. Right, let's start off with the news as it came in. So the first bit of news is, again, not one I welcome, not one I'm saying is going to happen, not one I'm trying to be negative about, but one I got a report. And Marca have said Al Nassr, that's the club in Saudi Arabia that Ronaldo plays for, Al Nassr wants to sign Virgil van Dijk and aim to make him the highest paid defender in the world. It goes on to say Al Nassr's general director has already met with the Dutchman's representatives on Tuesday. Now, there's other articles that said they've met with Virgil van Dijk. I don't know if any of this is true, but let's wait and see what happens. So Al Nassr want to make Virgil van Dijk the highest paid defender in history. Let's wait and see what happens, because I'm staying positive, everyone. Positivity. Right, Erling Haaland's agent insists that the Norwegian goal machine is happy at Manchester City, but here's the part that really shocked me. Claiming he's now on course to take his earnings through the £1 billion sterling barrier. Wow. So Haaland's agent said the player is now on track to take his earnings through the £1 billion barrier. Wow, lads, we are getting so out of touch with modern footballers if that's the amount of money that these guys are able to earn. £1 billion. And he hasn't scored in a cup final yet, of note, that I'm aware of, or that I can remember. That's a lot of wedge, isn't it? £1 billion. Wow. Next, we're going to move on to speak about Manchester City, Liverpool, and their interest in Michael Olise, which we spoke about at the very start of the stream as well. This piece goes on to say that he is keen on a move away this summer. Chelsea are the main concrete option, but talks haven't really progressed so far. And if anybody wants to buy him, as I said, the release clause is in there. It will cost £60 million plus a couple of million, up to £8 million apparently, in add-ons. So wait and see what happens there. A little bit more on Lenny Yoro that says, regardless of what happens with Lenny Yoro, according to Ian Doyle of the Echo, Liverpool are determined to sign a centre-back in this window. Which is good news, but it's also news that I think we all assumed was going to happen, because right now we haven't really got the cover we need at centre-back. We've got Kwanzaa, Gomez, Van Dijk, Kanade. We could probably do with one more if we're being honest. Another one which comes in, which is good news, that said Liverpool have no desire to allow Mohamed Salah to depart this summer, while Alisson Becker is understood to have no interest in a move to Saudi Arabia. We told you guys the other day that apparently Alisson turned down a really hefty pay packet of about 250 grand a week or upwards to stay with Liverpool. Wojciech Szczesny was apparently next on the Saudi Pro League's list as they were looking for goalkeepers, but Alisson has committed that he wants to stay at Liverpool, which is the news that we all want. Liverpool again have no desire to allow Salah to leave this summer, so if we're taking that at face value, he either leaves for free next summer or the club find a way to give him a new deal. Again, we'll see what happens over the course of the next couple of months. Every week Saudi wants somebody new in our team, said Mr. Jack Huff. I see what you did there. Well, look, they're looking to build up the league, I guess. So what gets me, though, is they said that they were changing direction, right? That they were going to start to look to bring in younger players, and yet there's been linked with the likes of Thiago Silva, Virgil van Dijk, Wojciech Szczesny, you know, older experienced players again. Ian Doyle again of the Echo reporting to say Virgil van Dijk, along with Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mohamed Salah, are out of contract at the end of next season, with Liverpool keen to accelerate talks with the trio over extending their contract. And look, as I've always said, I hope that's the case, but again, it's just a little bit concerning as to why we still haven't started those conversations, but we'll see what happens over the course of the summer. Get Hummels on a free, said Decanter. It is mad, isn't it, that he had that fallout with the manager at Dortmund. The manager resigns or leaves by mutual consent, and then he's leaving anyway. That is a bit of a mad one. It looks like Nuri Sahin will be the gaffer at Borussia Dortmund, which again is mad. But that's the mad managerial world we're living in these days. You know, Vincent Kompany going to Bayern Munich and Nuri Sahin stepping up there at Dortmund. So Lorenzo Lapori has said that Roma are interested in signing Sepp van den Berg, who is keen on the move. And I actually think this would be a great move for Sepp van den Berg if he went to Roma. I can see him getting a chance to develop there. I'd say he'd probably enjoy the life playing over in Rome as well. It's all about the transfer fee for us, though, and making sure that Liverpool can get a fee that we're happy with. You might remember over the last couple of weeks, Sepp van den Berg has kind of been pushing back a little bit, saying that Liverpool are pricing him out of a move and stalling his career somewhat. But if Liverpool could agree a fee with Roma, I think that's a good club for him to move to, and hopefully we can recoup somewhat of a decent transfer fee. Another one here on Virgil van Dijk, again coming in from Ian Doyle, who somehow managed to say three different things about the same player, but we'll move on from that. He said Liverpool have had no contact from Saudi Arabia side Al Nassr over a bid for skipper Virgil van Dijk. So what I'm keen to know about this is, are they looking to bring him in at the end of his Liverpool contract, or are they talking to the player first before maybe coming to Liverpool. But either way, I do find it very difficult to believe that Virgil van Dijk would want to leave Europe at this point, you know. Because if you think about it, when Virgil came to Liverpool and started really competing for the big European trophies, the Premier League, he was a ladder. It was what, 25, 26 when he came into the club, maybe 26. So he's not like he's come through Liverpool or, you know, a top tier club. No offence, Southampton and Celtic, but he's been later to the top table of European football. So I don't believe that Virgil will be ready or entertain a move yet. And also, most importantly, I feel like Virgil van Dijk has at least 2 to 3 years at the top level left, because he's not a defender that relies on pace. He reads the game. His positioning is usually spot on. So, yeah, I hope he signs that new deal, and I hope Al Nassr are left frustrated. Am I watching the Euros later? Absolutely, Babatunde. 7:30, bro, for the watch along. We'll be starting that, so I hope you can join us for that. Right, Anton. You're probably wondering who the hell Anton is, right? Because I know I was when I initially read about Liverpool's interest. So I'm going to move on to talk about him in a moment. But before I do, I don't know how true this is, but I'm going to read it out to you anyway. Liverpool made desperate attempt to sign a goalkeeper, according to Tudor Sport, who say Liverpool looks set to miss out on signing Michel de Gregorio as the Monza goalkeeper has agreed to join Juventus. This piece goes on to say that Liverpool made 3 attempts to hijack the deal and were willing to pay £21 million after seeing the shot stopper as a successor to Alisson as soon as the 25-26 season. But the player and Monza CEO Adriano Galliani are said to have already given their word to Juventus and are unwilling to go back on their verbal agreement, despite Liverpool outbidding Juventus. De Gregorio will also likely play more next season in Turin than he would have at Anfield. So let's break that down a bit. Do I think he'll play more at Juventus than he would have at Liverpool? Yes, because he would be behind Alisson Becker this season. So I can get that part of it. But it's very rare that you'll see a CEO of a football club turn down more money if it's on offer for a player, particularly to a rival. So it is an odd one in that sense, but if you take it at face value, it looks like De Gregorio will be on his way to Turin. And I have to be honest with you, I've never heard of him up until this article, but we could be in the market for a backup or a successor to Alisson for the future. So let's wait and see. Personally, as I've always said, I feel like Yaros is ready to take that step up and be the Liverpool number 2. So let's wait and see how he gets on in the Euros. I don't expect him to get much, if many, minutes with Czechia in the Euros, but let's wait and see. How quick would you like Liverpool to add players? Well, I'm not a patient person by nature, mate, so as quick as possible. Yeah, as quick as possible would be great. You know, the window's open now, so, and technically any day now we could hear or see about a signing. And every day I wake up, like you guys, first thing, scroll on my phone, try and see if there's any news, try and see if there's anything new to get excited about. But also, in 2 ways, I love that we're stealthy in how we do stuff, but it's, you know, a little bit of a teaser now and again as to who we're interested in would be pretty cool. Do you think Carvalho should get more minutes this upcoming season? Well, yeah. I mean, he's not really had many minutes for Liverpool. The first loan spell he had there with Leipzig didn't go too well, but a Hull very well. And interestingly, Arne Slot looked to bring Carvalho to Feyenoord when he was there. So he obviously likes the player. And it will be interesting to see if he can integrate him into the team or if he can find a position where he can challenge for regular minutes, because I've got no doubt about Carvalho's talent, but you know, we're really yet to see him have a consistent run at Liverpool, so maybe Arne Slot's going to give him that opportunity. I'm very intrigued to see how the new manager will set up this season, who he sees as his right back, who he sees as his double pivot in midfield, and what way he sets up the attacking quartet. Mark, thank you for gifting a membership, bro. You are very kind. Maybe Ali can tell Ederson to join Liverpool. Oh, Rav, I very much hope that he is in Ederson's ear. Now, there's more reports on Ederson linking him again with a move to Liverpool, but it's still nothing really concrete, right? There's still no big change there. There is a report coming out of Italy that again have said Liverpool are planning an offer this week, but until that offer is on the table and we hear it confirmed, just take it as another rumour at this point. And there is lots. But remember, I'm going to try and stay positive. So let's talk about Anton, because you're probably as confused as I am. When I read this, I was thinking, Anton Ferdinand isn't still playing football, is he? But Liverpool linked with Anton was the headline, and it is this Anton. Liverpool have been tipped to sign a new centre-back this summer. I think we'll all agree that that's probably the case. Sport Bild in Germany believe that Liverpool hold an interest in Waldemar Anton, who is a 27-year-old centre-back that plays for Stuttgart, the same club in the Bundesliga that we signed Wataru Endo from. He said the 27-year-old was one of the reasons why Stuttgart managed to finish second in the Bundesliga last season, playing all but one game. 14 of the captain's 37 games across all competitions ended with a clean sheet, with the club conceding the second fewest goals in the league. This report goes on to say that Liverpool inquired about Anton about 2 weeks ago, and he has a release clause of £19 million. So I thought about this, probably the same as you. 27 years of age? But experience is important. So a £19 million centre-back signing, I'm okay with, as long as there is a view and a plan for the long-term successor to Virgil to come through. But at 27 years of age, experienced in that Stuttgart team, which are a really good team this season. Obviously, Endo will know all about him, so I'm sure if the Varney slot wants a reference or anything, Endo will be able to help out there. But £19 million being the release clause certainly feels like a very doable or a very achievable deal if indeed Liverpool follow up that interest. So what I want to know from you guys is, have you watched much of this guy? I've seen a handful of Stuttgart games this season, but was probably more looking towards their attack than their defence. So let me know if you guys have any info on this guy, or if you've watched much of him. Wait for the echo saying Carvalho's like a new signing and could save us millions. I mean, yeah, there's always one of those stories every year, isn't there? But some year it'll be true, right? So maybe it's this year. Maybe Bajcetic could be that like a new signing, because I'm really looking forward to seeing him coming back into the team, because I really missed him last year. You know, he had that really good breakout campaign where he was stepping into midfield, filling in admirably, and then unfortunately for him had that injury that kept him out for pretty much the entire season. And I'm buzzing to see if he can get back to fitness, because I love a bargain, and at 300,000 quid from Celta Vigo, he's a bargain. So I'm hoping he can come through this season and again cement his place. So yeah, lots of reasons to be optimistic for the younger players coming through. But as I said, sometimes just that little bit of experience needed, particularly in the centre-back position. Kanade is experienced, but he's still young. Kwanzaa, very young, but had a great breakthrough season. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens. Rav D said, no idea who Anton is, but for 19 million, not bad. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. 19 million and 27. Like, 27 is a good age for a centre-back. That's experience ready to go. And I'm okay with that, honestly. 27-year-old centre-back, sign me up for that. Maybe that would give a scope then to look to a younger centre-back for the future. Maybe Antonio Silva, maybe Lenny Oro if Real Madrid don't push through with that deal. But this would give us the here and now centre-back, which I'd be fine about. Ian Cahill, how are you, my friend? And thank you for your super chat, really appreciate it. Said, Craig, any news on the Federico Chiesa transfer? Nothing new that I've seen. You know, Juventus have started to get their business done now. They're looking at that goalkeeper I spoke about earlier. Obviously the deal with Aston Villa for Douglas Luiz, but they do need to free up some money, and it looks like Chiesa just won't sign a new deal. So they're going to have to sell him or lose him on a free, and most likely they're going to look to sell him. So yeah, if he's available for 20 million quid, somebody is going to get a very talented player for a pretty reasonable fee. And if he goes to the Euros and does well with Italy, you know, that interest could probably, well, will certainly increase. I suspect we won't find out about any of the signings after the debacle with Lavia and Caicedo. Probably best that way. Yeah, it's a fair comment, mate. I still think back to that Caicedo day, right? You know, when we had the sealed last offers, and we found out that Liverpool's offer was the highest, and we did a reaction stream quite late, I think. And I remember thinking genuinely, well, that's us now contending for the league for the next 3, 4, 5 years. I was fully convinced that Caicedo was going to be the missing jigsaw piece to tie a very good window together. So yeah, let's see what happens this year. And you're right, it's probably better not hearing anything rather than being potentially disappointed like last summer. But on the Caicedo thing, and I guess it kind of, you could tie it into the Olise thing as well. Chelsea had done the groundwork. They'd put in a lot of time and effort to try and sign him. And they've done the same with Olise. So let's wait and see if we've left it maybe too late to play our hand there. Oh, that's from someone else. Edwards won't let us get into a transfer mess like we did last season. He's too good of a facilitator for that, said Phoenix. Again, I hope so. It's a holiday. Oh, where is it a holiday? In America? England? Where is it a holiday? Whoever's celebrating a holiday, happy holiday. Wait, what's this story? Oh yeah, I've already gone through that one. So, Manchester United have made an opening offer of £35 million for Jared Branthwaite. Everton have deemed this offer unacceptable and rejected it out of hand, according to David Ornstein and many other journalists in the media. It is a very low offer. Like, if you want 70 or 80 million quid for somebody, which is apparently what Everton are looking for Jared Branthwaite, that's a low ball offer. So I'm not surprised that's been rejected. Do you know what? I said this to Ben earlier on, though. It is a little bit frustrating, these situations where, like, I'd have Branthwaite in our team in a heartbeat. And I would imagine a lot of you guys would as well. But how frustrating is it that we know we can't do it because of that kind of unspoken transfer ban between Liverpool and Everton? It would be lovely to have brought him in because I really rate him as a centre-back. And if United get him, they've got themselves a good young player. But they're going to have to up that offer because 35 million quid is very low. Tyler said, can't wait to meet you. Thank you, my friend. I can't wait to meet you guys as well. I'll get another ticket update tonight. Is it? Hang on, what day is it today? No, I won't. Sorry, I won't get the ticket update till Sunday night. My apologies. But yes, there is still some tickets left for Liverpool. A handful if you want to come along. And you can get your tickets with a link at the top of the chat. And again, Cardiff is also on sale. They are going to be my last ever live stage shows. So we'd love you to come along and enjoy. We're going to kick off the season in style with a great show at the Hot Water Comedy Club in Liverpool. And just as good a show. Not even better, just as good a show at the Richard Burton Theatre in Cardiff on August the 2nd. £15 is the ticket prices, and again, link at the top of the chat. The good news, I hope, is that they're all ages events and everybody can come along. They took Benitez, so we can have Branthwaite. Well, can we get a poll up, Ben, on Branthwaite? Because I feel like we need a poll. It doesn't feel like an Anfield Agenda live stream without a poll. So can we get a poll? Would you take Branthwaite at Liverpool? Because I hope, and I'm back in the audience to say yes, but let's wait and see. Now, these are the type of things where, let's be honest with ourselves. Sometimes we hold ourselves back from saying yes because you think, well, if we go to United or elsewhere, I don't want them to be able to say, you wanted him. But I've got to be honest, I would definitely take him. Harry Klein, how are you, my friend? And again, thank you, Harry. Always very kind with a super chat. Said, I wish Bajcetic stayed fit. He could have saved the club millions, especially in the inflated market for a number 6, but I really want Ederson. I really want Ederson as well, but I agree with every word you've written, Harry. I'm intrigued to see if Ederson is a smokescreen, a distraction, or if we follow through. But, you know, the reports in Italy have said this week is apparently when Liverpool's offer is going to come, so let's wait and see. Zach said he's coming to United. Mate, I think you're probably right, in all honesty. And again, I'm going to be honest and say you're going to get a good player, but you're going to have to up that offer because that is a low ball offer, 35 million quid. Right, a little bit on young James McConnell, who is attracting loan interest for a number of championship clubs. Hull City, Blackburn Rovers, Derby County, Huddersfield Town and Birmingham City, according to David Lynch, are all showing interest in taking James McConnell on loan. And again, the right decision to send him out on loan. Was really good to see him come through last year, get some minutes, but a good solid loan, get a season under his belt. And I back Liverpool to make the right loan move, because we've got some good relationships with the likes of Blackburn, obviously, who had Elliott there, treated them really well. Hull, who had Tyler Morton, Fabio Carvalho. So let's wait and see who Liverpool, or if Liverpool deem one of those a good fit for young McConnell. I did a tour of the Falklands in the 80s. I don't know what that's about. Okay, how long do we have to wait for Lenny Euro? I don't know, mate. All I would say is Real Madrid look like they're in pole position for the Lenny Euro transfer. And it's an interesting situation because there's only so long Lille can really hold off. Because they have to try and get a transfer fee or lose the kid for nothing. So I think this will be one of those Madrid will play the long game and look to get him late in the window for a low fee, or tell him to hang on and they'll sign him for free. So yeah, let's wait and see what happens on that one. But he is a quality centre-back and I'd love him at Liverpool as well. Right, a little bit on Archie Gray, because we haven't spoken about him for a while. This piece says, Liverpool have been long linked with holding an interest in Leeds United young star Archie Gray, but could be held up in discussions if the Reds do indeed decide to pursue the 18-year-old. Ben Jacobs said that his family believes staying at Leeds United would be the wisest move given his lack of game time that he would probably get at Liverpool or any other top Premier League club, and it is thought that only a special proposal with playing time assurances would tempt Gray into securing a summer move, with time still very much on his side. So it looks like the right move here would be for somebody to come in, buy Archie Gray and loan him back to Leeds. That seems like the best play here, you know, because he's going to want to continue to develop. You can understand that. His family and his representatives want him to continue to play football and learn and grow. So if you did come in and buy him, probably a good negotiation stance would be to maybe loan him back to Leeds United for the season and see if he can help Leeds gain promotion back up to the Premier League. So I'd love him as a player. Yeah, really, really good young signing and very, very highly respected and thought of throughout the game. So let's wait and see. How much would it take to sell Gomez, said Phoenix. I wouldn't sell him. Genuinely, like, I look back at last season, which is weird because in my mind I can't see Joe Gomez having a regular nailed on position, but I can see him getting lots of games because of his versatility. And last season I think would have been a whole lot of trouble without Joe, so I wouldn't be looking to sell. I know Bayern Munich are rumoured to have interest, Vincent Kompany looking to strengthen his defence, but if I'm Liverpool I'd be definitely putting a hands off on Joe Gomez. When do we think Liverpool will try to conclude all their transfers? Do you think it will be delayed as Slot has not started working with the team yet? Well, yes, I do think there will be some delays because you've obviously got the Euros coming up. Arne Slot just coming into the job. The Copa America coming up as well. The Olympics, let's not forget some players who we've been linked with will be at the Olympics. Like I think Ederson, if I'm not mistaken. If it wasn't Ederson, it was somebody else. But somebody was at the Olympics anyway. One of the players we've been linked with. Actually, couldn't be Ederson, is it? It was an Argentinian that we were linked with from Benfica that was going to the Olympics. Who was it? So maybe somebody in the comments or the chat can help me out. I know there was somebody who was going to play in the Olympics for Argentina, hadn't yet broken through to the Argentinian first team properly, that we were linked to. But either way. Varela. See what I mean? See what I mean? All I have to do is just say to the chat, who is it? Help the idiot. And there you are, like absolute heroes. You are right. I got the league right. I just got the team wrong. It was, of course, Porto's Alan Varela. Well played to the chat. Yes, Alan Varela was another one. So yes, it will probably have a knock-on effect to some of the transfer business. You would imagine not every player we're linked with is going to be playing international football this summer, but the majority, yeah. I think it'll be a lot of late deals done in the window for a lot of clubs. Craig, has there been any new talk about Dario Osario, the young lad from Chile? Nothing new, Marco. He's the kid from Midtjylland, right? If I'm not mistaken. 19 years of age? Right winger? I'm trying to remember everything I remembered when I was reading up on him. But no, nothing I've seen new. But it does strike me as a signing I could very much see Liverpool being interested in. But nothing new, no. I don't understand the Anton rumours. He's right-footed. We want to also buy a right-footed centre-back. We should go for Bournemouth. So, I gather, again, I'm just relaying the news, but I gather this would be for experience, is probably my best guess. Whether that would see Liverpool sign no more centre-backs if they went ahead with it. You know, we've often been told ideally we're looking for a left-footed centre-back or at least a centre-back who can play on the left side. But at 27 for 19 million, I mean, if he's deemed good enough, I'd be okay with it. Especially if the club wanted to see how Kwanzaa progresses and maybe a couple of other youngsters. But, 27 is a good age for a centre-back. So I'm okay with it if the club deem he's the right one. But, £19 million release clause is a pretty straightforward deal to get done as well. Craig, if Szoboszlai doesn't perform well next season, do you think we buy a new player in his position or trust Elliott? I don't want to really think about that because I'm trying to envision why he wouldn't have a good season, if you get me. He started off really well at Liverpool, and now obviously he had some injuries and he looked a bit fatigued to the latter part of the season, but we've seen glimpses of what Szoboszlai is capable of. So I think he'll have a good season. Where he gets used, will it be the right side? Will it be as a 10? That'll be interesting to see from Arne Slot, but I've never had any doubts about Szoboszlai, so I don't really want to think about him leaving because I want to think positively about the season, and I'm excited to see what a new manager looks at the squad and thinks. If we want experience, then I know a certain Frenchman in Madrid available for 15 million quid. If you're talking about... Who are we talking about? Who's 15 million for Madrid? Sorry, I'm trying to think. Oh, Griezmann? No, thank you. If it's Griezmann, David, I'll pass. Thank you. Oh God, no, we'll pass on Griezmann, mate. Right, so lots of shouts as well for somebody who I've never heard of. What is his name? Where is this person? Somebody told me to keep an eye on somebody's name. Where is it? Where has this been gone? Somebody said to keep an eye on Calafiori. I've no idea who that is, so please feel free to educate this silly Irishman on who exactly he is. Toxic Edit said, I would love Euro. Having him, Kanade and Van Dijk, Kwanzaa fighting for the right side is a bit meh because we have no one for the left side. Yeah, look, again, these are just newspaper reports. We haven't signed any of these guys yet, but the only reason I said, and I stand over it, 19 million quid for a 27-year-old centre-back with experience who's been part of a very good Stuttgart side, I could understand the signing. It's not the exciting signing that an Antonio Silva or a Jared Branthwaite or a Lenny Yoro would be. But, if Edwards has crunched the numbers and the numbers come up showing this centre-back is undervalued and can add to the team, I'm okay with that as well. Calafiori is a Bologna centre-back who will 99% move to Juventus if he leaves Bologna, another piece of the Motta revolution. Yeah, Thiago Motta, of course, being unveiled as the new Juventus manager succeeding Allegri. Let's wait and see. I mean, I don't watch all that much of Serie A. I know Bologna had a very good campaign qualifying for the Champions League, if I remember correctly. And then, of course, they lost their manager to Juventus. Matthias Sule is a baller, possible future Salah replacement, said it's Mali. Tony Hoare, how are you, Tony? Said, I see Gertrude, Ederson and Bakayoko. That's a very believable window, Tony. It's not too sensationalist. It's fairly sensible. And I could see a world where something like that's absolutely possible. I would hope for a bit better than Gertrude, to be honest. But the rest of it, I think Bakayoko we've been long linked with. PSV Eindhoven scored a load of goals this year, played some really attacking football in the Eredivisie, obviously won the division. So yeah, that one could make sense. Certainly Arne Slot would know a lot about him. And Ederson, look, you know how much I like Ederson. He'd be my top target for the DM position or part of the double pivot. They're all saying we aren't in for Ederson. Yeah, I know. They're saying we're interested, but he's not a priority. But here's what I said to you guys yesterday, Jay Porter. A lot of the journalists have been great at telling us who we're not interested in, but nobody's really told us who we are going to sign or are very interested in. So I would take it all with a pinch of salt at the minute. Pros and cons, I guess. V. Aaron, how are you, my friend? And thank you for your super chat. If you haven't already, folks, please do hit that subscribe button. Drop a like on the stream. And again, thank you for joining us. I know it takes a bit of getting used to these earlier streams because of the Euros, but today we are live earlier and we will be back at 7:30 for Germany-Scotland. I worry about injuries. Ibu, Jota and even Alisson, but maybe Arne Slot won't be as intense as Klopp, so less injuries possibly. Injuries hurt us a lot. I think you're going to be disappointed if you don't think he's going to be as intense, because he asks a lot of his players as well. Which is why when you have a team like Jurgen's or potentially Arne Slot's, you need to have players with good engines, and you need to also have the ability to rotate and rest. Because if we are being asked or asking these guys to do a lot, pressing, counter-pressing, tracking back, defending from the front, getting forward in numbers, you're going to need a good engine. So more often than not, that points to a young, hungry team as well. So it's getting that balance of that youth and energy plus the experience of the likes of Mohamed Salah, Virgil van Dijk, Alisson and whatnot. Tony Hoare said, I'd love Frimpong. So Frimpong's great and all, and he's got a very good release clause of 40 million euro. But where do we play him if we signed him? Because maybe I'm overhyping, but nobody's getting Conor Bradley's right back position. In my head, that kid's nailed on for that position. So if you're looking at Frimpong maybe as a right-sided midfielder, potentially, but whoever does want him knows the release clause is 40 million euro, so it's an achievable clause. Is Wirtz possible, him, Dom, Elliott together, sexy? I wish I could sit here and say yes, Harry, but I think one of two things happens with him. He either goes to Bayern Munich or he goes to Real Madrid. But yes, I would have him in a heartbeat. I think everybody in the chat would have him in a heartbeat. Remember when they lost Kai Havertz to Chelsea at the time, or Arsenal, sorry. No, he went to Chelsea first and then Arsenal. I remember hearing from a load of Leverkusen fans who weren't that fussed about it because they knew they had Florian Wirtz coming through and thought he was actually going to be better than Havertz. So, yeah, he's a good talent. I love him, but I'm not being optimistic about it. Kelleher and Vandenberg can sort out the Euro fee, said Toxic Edits. I don't think the fee for Euro is going to be the problem. I think we can get to the point where we could get to a number with Lille. I think the preference is going to be what he wants to do, the player. And if you look at reports, a lot of them are of course the reports are very pro Real Madrid, but there's also been a lot of stuff to say that's kind of where the kid wants to go and play. So if that's the case, you just got to take it on the chin and move on. Lars said, if we do sign Frimpong, he'd be a right winger rather than a right back, unless we do something with Dom on the right inverting and Frimpong overlapping, but it's very unlikely. Now, I can see that. I can see a world where we have Bradley at right back and Frimpong on the right side of midfield, competing or rotating with Salah. I can see that. That makes me feel a lot more comfortable than looking at Frimpong as a right back, because I don't really trust his defensive skills that much. But going forward, we know what the kid can do. George, talk to you later, mate. Have a good one. I've just got that feeling Liverpool will pull a bunch of transfers out that we've never seen coming, said Johnny Kirk. Probably. And I love when that happens, Johnny. That's a good situation. You know, nothing makes me happier than a signing out of nowhere. The Fabinho one sticks out. The Jota one is another one that kind of came very quickly. Oscar said, Craig, I have a birthday today and I got a new home jersey with McAllister on it and it's beautiful. Amazing. Great day all around, bro. Good choice. McAllister on the jersey. I don't know if you picked that or somebody picked it for you, but a good choice. And happy birthday. And loads of people in the chat as well saying happy birthday. Lovely to share your birthday with us, mate, and thank you for being here. Didn't Frimpong's release clause run out yesterday? No, I think it's the end of June, if it does run out. Usually footballers' contracts are up until the end of June. So, to the best of my knowledge, no, but, you know, I would have imagined it had been triggered if it ran out yesterday. Somebody would have at least tried to get him in and triggered it, I would imagine. Frimpong is not a fullback. Well, it depends on your system. He can be a wing back, but you are right. He's not a fullback, but he can be a wing back in certain systems. Joel Joshi said, I hope Dan's gets a good run in the squad. He's shown a lot of potential. I think he's nailed on for a loan, and I think it's the right call. You know, we can't guarantee Jayden Dan's enough football with the first team. I think, if we're being honest. And at 18, 19 years of age, he should be going out on loan and showing that he can bag in the Championship to me. So I'd be surprised if we don't see Jayden Dan's get a nice, good, solid loan where he goes and hopefully scores a ton of goals and comes back even more confident, because he certainly looks confident in front of goal. Bright future ahead of him, no doubt. Who was the most critical signing in your eyes? Either centre-back or defensive midfield. Because we need to stop conceding. And we need to be more solid through the middle. So I'll always find us able to score goals or attract people who can score goals. But I would say centre-back or defensive mid is the priority for me personally. Spartan Strategy said we should give Doak a run in the first team again, send him out on loan to get a better run of games. Again, I would imagine a loan would probably... See, what I'd do with Ben Doak is maybe a 6-month loan. Send him out somewhere till January, where you can see if his fitness holds up, let him build back up his minutes, and then maybe bring him in January, reassess him again. But I would imagine a loan. He's got to get minutes under his belt. So yeah, I think a loan's probably likely. Olise's release clause could only be triggered by clubs in the Champions League, I saw. And that was ruled out, Harry. I read an article yesterday that said Chelsea had inquired about that and had been told that the release clause isn't different for Champions League clubs or non-Champions League clubs. Again, it's just a report, so don't take it as gospel. But yeah, the latest I'd seen was that Chelsea did indeed look into that, and apparently it's no different. Doak should go out on loan, said Andrew Lucia. I agree. I think Doak, McConnell, Dans, Clark, maybe Gordon. Although you could see an argument for keeping Kay Gordon around. They're definitely players for me that need a loan, because they need minutes. You know, nothing stunts development like not playing enough competitive football. So seeing a slot place a double pivot, what do you think about Thuram? I'd still think we need Ederson. You know, I look at the double pivot position and think it's going to be a DM and a Trent, or a DM and a Gravenberch, or a DM and a McAllister, or... So, yeah, I still think we need a little pitbull, a little defensive shield, and I'm sold on Ederson personally, but look, I'd love the kid from Port or Benfica, Neves, but it's going to take a lot of money to get that deal done. Diogo Jota's been bigging him up, speaking very highly of him. We're going to get a first-hand look at him, of course, in the Euros. And if you signed Neves, as an example, you're under a little bit less pressure for him to succeed because you still have Endo. So you'd have somebody at the other end of the age spectrum that can be a bit of experience and can help mould that younger player, as well as giving him time to develop, settle into English football, and get up to speed with what the manager would want from him. So in an ideal world, that would be great. Bring in João Neves and let Endo take the early part of the season, build the kid up, and then whenever the gaffer thinks he's ready, unleash him on the Premier League. That's what I'd like to do. Leeds would suit our loan players as a big club, said Colin Blackshaw, and could also help in any possible negotiation, Colin, with Archie Gray, who I also think if you bought, you'd have to loan back to Leeds for a year. So, yeah, potentially. Who is Anton? No problem, buddy. Let me go back and go through this for you. Right, so this comes from Germany and comes from Sport Bild, and it said Liverpool are tipped to sign a new centre-back this summer, and German outlet Sport Bild said that the Reds are interested in Waldemar Anton. The 27-year-old defender was one of the reasons why Stuttgart finished second in the Bundesliga last season. He had 14 clean sheets with that Stuttgart team in 37 games across all competitions, the second fewest conceded in the Bundesliga. And here's the interesting part. They say he has a release clause of just £19 million. And for a 27-year-old experienced centre-back, that's fair. Now, I'm not saying he's the guy, but it's a realistic signing for a realistic fee from a league that we would know well, from a team that obviously Endo would be able to speak to, and he's experienced enough to drop straight in. So I can see a world where that's possible. Whether it satisfies everybody, I mean, that's another conversation, right? You know, it's a big leap to go from an Antonio Silva, a Lenny Yoro, to a 27-year-old centre-back. But, honestly, if he's a here and now centre-back that can be dropped in, I'm okay with that as well. Who do you want to win the Euros? Love the channel, much love. Thank you, Ryan. Who do I want to win it? An underdog. You know, I don't have an allegiance to anybody in the Euros. Liverpool have a lot of players in the Dutch squad, so maybe that. But yeah, I don't mind. Just hope it's a good tournament. And an underdog win would be great. A Netherlands victory would be lovely. But let's wait and see. I'm sick of this interest thing. Go for someone if you want a person. Simple. No, I'm being positive today, bro. As I said at the very start of the stream today, I read through all of your comments. If there's one thing I pride myself on, it's taking feedback, constructive criticism. As I always say to you guys, that's what I view I'm giving to the players. If we see a performance that I'm unhappy with, I view my criticism as constructive and never hate-filled. So when I look through my comments and I see some very fairly worded, honest, sincere posts to say that I'm being negative, or I'm going over the top, or I'm getting too ahead of myself, I've no problem taking that on board. It is my job to listen to what our community has to say, take it on board and go with it. And it has been honest, fair feedback, and I'm happy to take it. And I will listen to you guys. And my job here every night, when you tune in and you come on to watch with us, I want you to enjoy your time. If you're watching one of our videos, I want you to finish and smile. I don't want you to be angry after watching something that I've made or something that I've been part of. So I'm always listening to your feedback. And I appreciate the sincerity with which it was given, and I will receive it in that way as well. And I have to say, it was nice to read, because, you know, I've read comments over the years and a lot of them have been horrible, as you always get on the internet. But I've got to give my community credit. It wasn't horrible. It was balanced. It was fair. and I take it that way. So cheers for your feedback as always, and we do look, we do listen, and we are of course here to make you guys happy. Love the channel, amazing streams. Thank you, Harry, appreciate you, bro. If you love the streams, oh sure, you love the live show even more. Don't forget, tickets, only a handful left. I think we're 11, 12 left for Liverpool, something like that. So make sure you do get them with the link at the top of the chat if you haven't done so. Right, Craig, hope you're well. Is there any meaning to your tattoos, or are they just for appearance? Mostly just for appearance, but there are a few small little touches. So for instance, I have the time of day that my 2 kids were born on each wrist. I have the date that I got married on the bottom of my right wrist. And I've one on my leg that has meaning, but most of them, no. Most of them are just aesthetic. John said, Craig, you're the GOAT. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Look, I love my community, as I keep saying. You are the reasons we're here. And if you aren't happy with something, or you think I need to go in a different direction, I'm happy to listen to you. You know, it's given in a loving way, and I receive it as such. Introducing new signings, Fabio Carvalho and Calvin Ramsey. Well, Calvin Ramsey's going out on loan. We know that much. So he'll be on loan for the campaign. And I think I'm excited by it, because he needs to play football. When we signed Calvin Ramsey, the feedback coming from Aberdeen and Aberdeen fans was that he was a really good fullback. We obviously haven't got a chance to see that. The loan at Preston didn't work out. He had some injuries. Now, hopefully, this campaign we can see the Calvin Ramsey that we signed to be that successor or the competition for Trent and Conor Bradley at right back. Ali Noose said, Craig out, nothing new on Neves. Nothing today, no. I'm going to ask you a question in a sec. Let me just end this poll and we'll finish the stream with a 15-minute poll. So I asked, would you take Branthwaite at Liverpool? 59% said yes and 41% say no. So thank you for that feedback as well. Ben, can we put up a poll for the last few minutes, mate, to ask, do you think João Neves is realistic for Liverpool? Because I've kind of started to talk myself into it a bit over the last couple of days. As much as I like Ederson, and Ederson would be somebody I think we could drop straight in, you know, hearing Jota being so outspoken about Neves and knowing that we need a player in that position and knowing that United probably don't have the money to be able to pay what Benfica would want because their offer of 51 million was rejected out of hand. So I don't know, I'm starting to allow myself to dream a little bit on that one. And I don't know if I'm deluded on it, but I'm starting to think, well, you know, we've always been told for the right player, the money will be there. So is that player an 18, 19-year-old young defensive midfielder who comes highly regarded by his international teammates and many scouting reports? Ben said, I think you'll find United might have the money. Why? Did they go out with the begging bowl or something like that, Ben? Neves is 100 million. Can't see it happening, although I'd love it. Well, it is 100 million euro, I think, Tony. So it's about 85 million quid, but still a very, very significant outlay. Ali Nuss said, me too. Neves is one of my favourite midfielders out there. He is great. Starter for Portugal at 18 is not easy. Jack said, Craig, I know we'd never sell Conor Bradley, but how much do you think he's worth after a season? I know it's an off topic, but I'd say 30 million. More. I would say 40. And that's me kind of paring it back a little bit, because in my head I'm saying 50. Because I'm biased, and I've always been a Conor Bradley hype merchant. I love Conor Bradley, so yeah, I'm saying 40, but I'm not taking it. I don't care any amount. Honestly, if you offered Liverpool 70 million quid tomorrow for Conor Bradley, I would hope the response would be a very firm "go fuck yourself." No, I love the kid. I think he's going to be our next superstar down that side. Who's Anton? It's Anton Ferdinand, mate. Liverpool are very close to agreeing a deal to sign Anton Ferdinand to become Virgil van Dijk's centre-back partner. Well, that's what I thought when I read it anyway, but no, it isn't that Anton. It's a centre-back, mate, that plays for Stuttgart, 27 years of age, 14 clean sheets in the last campaign. I think he's in the German squad as well for the Euros. Buyout clause of just £19 million. Was part of a Stuttgart team that finished second in the Bundesliga. Yeah, that's all I really know about him. I mean, did I know he existed 14 hours ago? Nope. But now that he's been linked with Liverpool, he's obviously the greatest centre-back that's ever lived. If Lewis Hall is 35 million, then Bradley's 50 million, said Anna. I like it, Anna. Am I excited about the Euros? Love your content and your beautiful heart. That is my favourite comment this year. That's my favourite comment this year. I don't think anybody's ever told me I have a beautiful heart. Thank you. I needed a win today, because I'm not going to lie to you. Today I got up and I'm not feeling great about the world. I'm always nervy when the channel isn't going as fast as I want it to. And I get scared and I get worried and I think people are going to tune out, forget about us. And, I become a big worrisome person who doesn't sleep much. And, this means a lot to me. So every day I'm trying to get up and be better and push the channel on. And the last couple of weeks have been quiet and it's been nerve-wracking for me. So, yeah, thank you, my man. That means a lot. Am I doing a watch-along of Scotland-Germany? Oh, God, yes. 7:30, the watch-along is going to start for Scotland-Germany. And I'm genuinely intrigued by it. On the face of it, you look at it and think, home win. But Scotland have pulled out some results over the qualifying campaign as well. And they're going to be there with a great support. Loads of Tartan army over in Germany. If they can keep Germany quiet for the first 20-25 minutes, weather that early storm, you never know. It's going to be an interesting game. Thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you. Best centre-back ever, in my opinion, to Dylan Adams. Yeah, of course. If we're linked to him immediately, he's the greatest player in the history of football. That's the way my brain goes anyway. Lad, nothing to be worried about. Channel is great. And also, what's the Olise news? So, the report says that Liverpool are still part of that conversation. Obviously, we know Chelsea are further along in their pursuit of Michael Olise. And it kind of feels like a game of brinksmanship at the minute. Who's going to show their hand first? 60 million quid is the release clause. You have to say Chelsea have put a lot of groundwork in there, but let's wait and see what happens. I think it's a fair number for a really good player, but I don't know. I don't know how strong our interest is. And that's, I guess, one of the good things about Edwards being back is we can talk about potential targets or players we've been linked to, but it's very difficult to gauge the level of that interest at the minute because Michael Edwards is a stealth ninja master at keeping things quiet. I stick up to you when you topped the poll recently and people were questioning it. Well, look, people can question it, Tom, all they want, but I'll stick up for myself here as well. I think I'm the best content creator about Liverpool with regards to reactions and watch-alongs. I think the Anfield Rap are the best Liverpool content creators, but I don't think I need sticking up for. The poll was very promising and it spoke for itself, and I'm very glad of people's support on it. But yeah, I do think when I'm at my best, when I'm emotional, when it's watch-along time and Liverpool are playing, I don't think anybody can hold a candle to me. That's my honest... If I'm at it, in full charm offensive, in a good mood, I'm just smooth. And I know that, but I also know I can be a pain in the ass and a grumpy git. So for me, every day I try to get to that level of fun, laughter, banter, but I know how quickly I can get to angry, ranty. Where's the money, John? Because it means a lot to me. Liverpool mean a lot. Every season you go in with renewed hope and expectation, and this season you've got that extra little anxiety and butterflies in your stomach because you don't know Why is...
Catch that. Could you try again?
I don't know what's going on here. My phone's calling people and all.
How are you ringing me when you're live?
I don't know, Ben. I don't know. My phone just rang Ben, everyone, and I don't know why. Siri started coming up, Ben, and then I was like clicking on Siri, and then Ben came up. There you go. Calling Ben accidentally in the middle of streams while trying to close down Siri. You're modest as well. No, I'm just trying to be honest. Like, I think the Anfield Wrap are the best Liverpool content creators, but nobody holds a candle to us on a watch along. You know, tell me who else has a dancing alien on their stream? That's our baby. Mo Salah 11 said, I think that Anfield Agenda will be the most watched football fan channel and most subscribed in the world. I don't think we will, mate. But I love your optimism. I'm still trying to figure out how I rang Ben. I'm such a boomer when it comes to technology, honestly. Am I doing Germany versus Scotland watch along? I am indeed, my friend. Yeah, I am indeed. 7:30, Ryan. We're going to be live for that. Still can't figure out how that ended up calling Ben. Right, let's have a look at the poll. Do you think João Neves is a realistic signing for Liverpool? We've got 3 minutes left of tonight's stream, so we're going to let that run. And I will remember to end it, because I've been terrible lately about remembering to end polls before the stream finishes, and then I go, oops. So yeah, I will get that done. But yeah, 7:30, I can't wait. Your phone got possessed by Fabrizio Romano. I don't have Fabrizio in my phone book though. Daz said, in fairness, Craig, when there's no transfer saga, it's expected. The summer is usually a boring enough time. Remember the Caicedo drama? Your stream had like 12,000 people in it at one time. Yeah, that was mental. We beat that though. I didn't think we would. So Super League, we hit 11k in a live watch along, and I never thought we'd beat that. Then the Caicedo one, we hit 12, but I can't remember what game it was. This season we hit 13,100 live in the chat on one stream, and I can't remember which one it was, but mate, the buzz that you feel when you look down and you see that 10,000, 11,000, 12,000, it's like a surge of adrenaline, and you are walking on air for that time. You feel no pain. It's just, it's amazing. It's beautiful. I wish I could bottle it and sell it. Can I? Maybe I could disguise the freezer farts as energy aroma? I don't know. What are we saying? Freezer farts bottled as energy aroma. Oh, by the way, I've got a name for us that I want us to start speaking about. The CSC. We're going to try to be the CSC this summer as a community, right? What does the CSC mean? The Common Sense Collective. That's what I think we're going to try and be this summer. We're going to try and be the Common Sense Collective. Right. By far the best channel. I never miss it. Salah has to go for money in this window. Who do you want to replace him? Olise. Olise and Nico Williams are two players that I really like. Now, I know Nico Williams operates more on the left side for Bilbao, but he can play anywhere across the front line. He's got a release clause of 55 million. Olise I love as well. He's Premier League proven. Ruben Neves. Pedro Neto. Sorry. Pedro Neto is another person that I really like, but his injury record worries me. But good players. If you can get past the injury part with Neto and Olise, two cracking players there. Caicedo stream was something else. Oh, that was so much fun, Killian. Until it wasn't. So I'm on here, we're all buzzing, loving life, think we're getting Caicedo, it's all great, we're winning leagues, and then I get up the next day to see he's going to Chelsea, and my heart just dropped. Musiala or Wirtz? I would prefer Musiala. Oscar, personally, they're both amazing, but, you know, I always said to you guys, it was Bellingham, Rice, and Musiala are three that I think are amazing. So yeah, I like Musiala. Kudus is a great shout as well, and I'd have no issues if Liverpool paid the money for Mohamed Kudus and he came in. What is the subscribe goal for this season? I I think before the end of the calendar year, I'd like to hit 300,000. So realistically, I'd love to hit it before I go away to Turkey in October. But yeah, 300,000 is the next goal. And we'll see where we go from there. So look, my friends, I'm going to go and get ready for the Euros watch along. We will be back at 7:30 to kick off our Euros coverage. Germany taking on Scotland. Andy Robertson captaining the Scottish side. Let's see if they can cause an upset. Again, get used to these earlier streams, because when we're doing the 8 p.m. games during the Euros, we will be doing the Anfield Agenda live stuff at 5 p.m. Until then, thank you for dropping in and spending some of your evening with me. Don't forget, tickets for the live shows are on sale. The link at the top of the chat. And I will see you, heroes, at 7:30, where we get to enjoy some actual football. Much love, my friends. Thank you again for all of your support.